It's Jurgen Klopp's last game. It's Mo Salah to go big against Wolves, hopefully, and that is why he's going to be in my FPL team. Welcome to the Gianni YouTube show. Hope you guys are well. It's game week 38, and this is my last team selection video of the year. I'm looking forward to game week 38. It's going to be 2 hours of absolute FPL chaos on Sunday. Remember, it's a Sunday deadline. Shall we have a look, before we see state of play with my team, how I'm accommodating Mo Salah, we'll talk captaincy. Shall we have a quick look at some of the teams that I think you should be targeting for game week 38? And they are, of course, the best goal scoring teams. Before we see the data, if we fancy hitting that like button, but also subscribing to the channel, that'd be amazing. Show your support. If you've been watching all season, haven't yet clicked that subscribe button, then please do. The last 6 matches, who are the teams scoring the most goals? Well, the best bit about this data, the teams scoring the most goals are also the teams with juicy home fixtures against teams with nothing to play for. And there are 4 of them. And these are the 4 teams you should target. So over the last 6 Premier League matches, I got this data before Chelsea play on Wednesday night. Man City are top of the charts. We expect that. They're averaging 3.66 goals a game. 22 goals in the last 6. They are playing a really good home fixture against West Ham. We can expect goals as City go win the title, right? We know that. Second ranked are Chelsea. They are scoring goals for fun. They're averaging 3 goals a game, 18 in the last 6. They've got a good home fixture against Bournemouth, who again, Bournemouth, nothing really to play for. Chelsea, you could argue the same, but they're going for Europe. So actually they do have something to play for and scoring goals for fun. Well, ranked third, this is the surprise. And since Glasner has come in, Hodgson football has just been and gone. Defenders are allowed to cross the halfway line. Forwards are allowed to commit numbers. And we see under Glasner, Crystal Palace functioning so well. Eze, Elise and Mateta is some front 3. And it's all guns blazing. It's 2.66 goals a game on average. Now, Aston Villa could have gone into that fixture with something to play for at Selhurst Park. Not anymore, because Spurs lost to Man City. Villa are guaranteed Champions League football. I'm backing Crystal Palace at home at Selhurst Park. Now, you could say Palace don't have anything to play for, but there's certain narratives building in here. The likes of Michael Elise could be his last game. Yeah, so I just like that Selhurst Park fixture very much for Crystal Palace attackers, Elise in particular. And then Arsenal. We know they've got to go and win. I expect them to score a fair few against Everton at home. 2.33 goals a game on average. They are ranked 5th. I think it's Newcastle at 4th. Newcastle have an away fixture. So 4 of the 5 best attacks in the league, all with good home fixtures. That's why you should be targeting them. This data is from Fantasy Football Scout. Go check them out. Should we see my team? It really doesn't make a difference if I finish 30k or 50k for me. Like, top 100k finish is important. I think 10 of my last 12 seasons have been in the top 100k. That's great. I want to keep that up. Ideally, I want to beat my rank from last season, which I should do. I think I was around 80k. The season before that, 16k. I'm not going to beat the 16k finish, I don't think, unless I go completely wild in game week 38. So yeah, green arrow this week, fairly happy. But how am I setting up for game week 38? I've got 2 free transfers. I've got just over $1 million in the bank. I'm obviously using the 2 free transfers. I'm going to be making late moves on Sunday because we might get some team leaks, especially from the likes of Man City and Liverpool. Now, before we look at my 4 options in terms of transfer combinations, and I'm going to run through all 4, it's worth noting a couple of players are flagged. So Ederson, for example, we saw what looked like concussion on Tuesday night. It didn't actually go off under the concussion rules, but let's see. I'll be surprised to see if he plays against West Ham. So let's see. De Bruyne went off injured as well, by the way. Again, someone I've got my eye on as a potential transfer, but I don't know if I'll be making it and if he'll be fit. So my options, I've got 4 of them. 3 of them include bringing in Salah, and 1 of them includes bringing in De Bruyne, right? It's likely to be one of the Salah options. So option number 1. Now you can see my team is pretty strong. Like, as things stand, without any transfers, I am benching a Gordon or an Isak. Okay? Probably a Gordon. So option 1 is to bring Elise and Salah into this team for Bruno and Son. Now, loads of you are going to say, what are you doing selling Son before Sheffield United? Now, firstly, I might not make that call. But secondly, Son did just play against Burnley at home and blanked. So what makes us all think he's going to go to Sheffield United and score loads? The narrative for me at Sheffield United is Spurs now have nothing to play for, and Sheffield United will put in a display for their fans who've supported them all season and seen some rubbish football. So I'm not convinced that that's a big Spurs win. Of course, I'm not saying Son's a bad asset. Son's a good asset this week. Of course he is. But is Salah a better asset than Son? I think he might be. And we actually haven't spoken much about Mo Salah, so I'm gonna give my conclusion on why I want Salah in my team in a couple of minutes' time. So option 1 is Elise in and Salah in. I've spoken about the Palace attack. Elise and Salah would come into the 11. I would then bench a Gordon or an Isak. Option 2 is exactly the same. Bruno and Son leave, but Salah and I'd have 6 million spent on a midfielder. Elise would be probably my preferred, but I could go Declan Rice. Let's stop viewing Declan Rice as a holding midfielder in this Arsenal system. When he's playing alongside a Jorginho or Partey, and he'll be playing alongside one of them on Sunday, he's a number 8. He's box to box. He gets shots. He's had good numbers this year. He's also going to be on set pieces, which for Arsenal, they're one of the best set piece teams in the league. Rice is a legit good option. I think I prefer Elise for the excitement, for the fact he plays so much closer to goal. But Rice covering the Arsenal attack, I think, is fairly important. I want to cover Arsenal attack, obviously Man City, Chelsea, and ideally Palace too. Now, I can't do all those things. Whew. That's where I was at the start of the week. And then I looked at it and thought, I'm still benching Gordon or Isak. Maybe I could sell one of those players and get some money out of them. So a combination of selling Isak, for example, might give me the funds to somehow get to Salah. There is a way in keeping Heung-min Son in this team. And option 3 is that Son stays, Bruno goes, Isak goes, and I actually can get to Mo Salah because I've got a bit of money in the bank. Bruno to Salah, and then I've got a 4.4 million budget for forwards, or 4.3 million budget for forwards. Now, the likes of Mabama are 4.1, don't play. There's some Sheffield United lads at 4.2. I think Archer is one of them. Now, he is getting minutes. At 4.3, really surprised at this, you can get to Muniz at Fulham. As in Muniz who's been scoring loads of goals. Yeah. Like Muniz who starts. Yeah. Now, he'd only be a bench option for me, Muniz. But it's worth noting his price is 4.3 if you need an enabler. He's 4% owned. He's been getting about 60 minutes. He plays Luton away. So Muniz could be a really good bench option for me. So that is a route I think I'm now likely to take. So option 3 is my favourite. It's Bruno out, Salah in. Isak is out, but I was going to bench Isak or Gordon anyway. And then Muniz on the bench, and it means I can start Gordon. So I've one Newcastle attacker. Again, I'm not precious about Newcastle, knowing they go to Brentford in a tough fixture and their away form isn't quite as good. So that's the Mo Salah options. Let me just give you option number 4, which doesn't involve Mo Salah, and then talk about Salah and De Bruyne. So option 4 centres around Kevin De Bruyne. If Ederson's injured and De Bruyne is fit, and I think we'll know that because we'll get team leaks for Man City, I could bring Ederson out my team and I'd have 4.4 to spend on a keeper. I could bring in Henderson, who I think could get a clean sheet against Aston Villa for Palace. And then Bruno to KDB. That'd be triple City attack for the final day. Am I backing Man City to go massive against West Ham? I probably am. But I also think the ceiling at Arsenal and the ceiling at Liverpool is really high as well. I am also slightly concerned with De Bruyne. You sometimes get those games where they go and score 4 or 5 goals and he's had nothing. He's had loads of assists. He's been player of the match, but he hasn't actually got a goal or an assist. We saw it recently. He's obviously a brilliant FPL asset, but I don't quite think he's up there with a Salah at the moment for me on the final day. And that is why I like options 1 to 3 with Mo Salah, I think. So many of you will be asking the question, why is Gianni so big on Mo Salah? He hasn't been playing well of late. Liverpool haven't been functioning all that well. And this is more about me building into the narrative of game week 38 and Klopp's farewell, potentially even Mo Salah's final game, right? And if it is, then I want in. Like, he's going to want to go big. Whether it's Klopp's last game, Salah's last game, both, whatever, I feel like it's going to be a party atmosphere at Anfield, a celebration of the success over the last however many years Klopp's been with them. And Salah's going to want to go big. He's going to want to end the season with momentum and good numbers. And he plays a Wolves side who we saw recently against Man City. They're kind of done. They are kind of done. They've got nothing to play for. They're on the road. They're expecting to get battered. I genuinely think they probably do fear that. So I really like the idea of Mo Salah. He comes with an explosive high ceiling that, say, a Gakpo or a Luis Diaz doesn't. He's also a differential. Amongst engaged managers, he'll be in like 5-10% of teams. He's got around 20% ownership, but in terms of engaged owners, much, much lower than that. Is he a captaincy option? He is. He is. But after seeing Haaland again against Spurs and knowing it's sort of City to win the league, Haaland's going to want to get in on that act. The Golden Boot is still an option. Is he'll think that's still something that's not guaranteed for him. I might end up going Haaland captain, or I might just go Hail Mary. Who cares if it's 30k or 50k and go Salah for the fun of it? I'm not 100% sure there where I go with captaincy, but it will be one of those two options. I'm not looking outside the box at Man City. I won't own any Arsenal attackers or Palace attackers, which is a shame because I think they're both great options this week. But this is just to accommodate Mo Salah. The other option would be I go, okay, forget Salah, go and buy Saka or Havertz or Elise. I just feel like Salah brings the highest ceiling of all those players. Whether or not I captain him is still a question mark. I will reveal a little bit more as the week goes on. I'm going to hopefully do a Q&A on Friday or Saturday for you guys. So that's where I'm at. I'm really keen to know what you think I should do from those four options. If you think selling Son is an option, or do you prefer Son and Bruno being sold to get an Elise and a Salah, or a Rice and a Salah, or do you prefer the idea of me going, no, go and get your Mo Salah, but keep Son at all costs, and therefore Bruno and Isak can go and you bring an enabler in on the bench. That was the option 3. Let me know what you're thinking of doing. If you are a channel member and you've got any questions, make sure you ask them, because one of the perks of being a member, and if you want to join as a member, you can click the word join below this video. All your questions are answered when we do lives, but also in the comments to videos. Guys, I really appreciate your support this season. I really appreciate you all hitting that thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. I've got so much planned pre-season, so make sure you're strapping yourself in for the July-August months. We might even see some Euros content on the channel. So loads going on. Thank you for your support as always. Good luck in Game Week 38, and I'll see you for a live on this channel. Hit that notification bell before the end of the week. Catch you later.